What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video I'm just going to be talking a little bit about NBA 2k21 MyTEAM lads. So basically we saw the GOAT cards, or equivalent to GOAT cards, yesterday, and we're looking at this right now. They are at they're most expensive on PS4, 5 and PS4, which is weird because there's more of them on the market, but I assume there's more players. But if you look at this right here, premium, and say if you look at the Science Shrine, it's invincible. There are not that many of these cards. Like Kobe is going sometimes for 4 million MT. One of Kobe sold yesterday for 6 million MT. But you're looking at how few of these have been pulled. Like, there are so few. And you see there's already a 1 million MT bid on this one, and it's been up for 9 minutes. And I can guarantee you, like 1.1 point thing, like people are just bidding on all these ones. People are bidding on them all. And one of the crazy things is, like, these cards are so rare. Like, I don't understand why Duncan's 1.5 million. Like, they are so rare. And like, I understand that they are rare, but by so rare, I mean, we're going to actually take a look at... Well, I'm just going to talk a little bit about just how rare they are. So, obviously, we know that I pulled on someone else's account due to with MT over 1 million MT. Didn't get the cards. Which, to be fair, that's not the biggest deal in the world. The people that I know that pulled these cards, this is how much it cost Troydan. Troydan, it took him 400 packs, 5.26 million VC. 5.26 million. Like, that is berserk. That is berserk. Like, I just can't believe how much that costs. But if you're looking at this, 11.68, well, technically 12 because you have to buy it, worth of 450s. He spent 1.1 thousand quid. And the packs, I'm pretty sure, are cheapest in the USA. Like, if you're in Ireland, obviously this is on my New Zealand account, which, to be fair, nearly every YouTube content creator has a New Zealand account, basically, where they because you can get the game early on it. But basically, if you guys can see right here, like, it's 150 New Zealand dollars or 160 New Zealand dollars. In Ireland, it's €100, which is like $120 for a thing. So if you were in Ireland paying for that, you're paying, so 120 by 12. Like, you're paying nearly $1,500 if you were in Ireland for that. And that's getting lucky. And that's the crazy thing about this, is that Troydan got lucky with that. I'm pretty sure Lowe spent $1,400. Like, this is just... It's just ridiculous. It doesn't help anybody. The odds don't help anybody right now. I'm going to explain why. This doesn't even help 2K. These bad odds, first of all, people aren't going to be happy with them. Second of all, not many people are going to be able to play with the cards, which is a big thing. Being able to actually play with the cards. Like, we all kind of... the why we play the game, we want to play with the cards. Obviously, there are great budget alternatives, so I am happy about that. But the less supply of a card, we talked about it last year. When there's... The reason why we haven't seen, like, much market manipulation, and by market manipulation I mean, like, coin sites completely like manipulating prices, is that if you guys remember back in NBA 2K20, so I'm gonna explain a little bit about what ended up happening last year. So back in 2K20, 2K released a bunch of 2K released a lot less. This year they're kind of outdoing themselves every week, whereas last year they may not have done that. So if you guys don't remember last year, at the very start of April, which was the 10th of April, we saw this Shaq card. This Shaquille O'Neal card was a 3-point shooting range extended Shaq. It's basically like this year's range Shaq, except he does not have as good dribble six. Basically the exact same card. And this card was the best center in the game until... Let's have a look when there was an objectively better center. Kareem, probably. And he came out on... When did Kareem come out? He came out on the 9th. It was this weekend. So he came out on the 12th of June. So from the 10th of April to the 12th of June, there was no better centers. And then LeBron was one of the best point guards in the game. He came out on the 24th of April. And what I mean by market manipulation is basically what ended up happening was these were the 2 most sought after cards in my team. So, and as time goes on, they're obviously going to get rarer. And super packs weren't as prevalent as they are right now. So these cards got rarer and rarer. And when there's only, say, one of these, and when the cards are rarer, the coin sites who have an infinite supply of MT, they can manipulate the price of the card. Like, for example, the Shaquille O'Neal card. There was a max of 10 of him on the market at all times. But the second that one of him went up, where is he? He's here. He used to sell for like 1.3 million, 1.4 million. But the second that he went up, I tried to bid on one, I remember, 1.1 million. I tried to bid that on one. That was 3 hours, 59 minutes. And I was outbid. It wasn't the highest bidder. So basically, what ended up happening was the coin sites knew that people were paying 1.3 million. And what they were doing was they were bidding like 1.2 million on all these cards. And they would always end 1 to 2 bids after the 1.2 million. And you couldn't even make the argument that people were bulk bidding because they were actually bidding a price where if you sold the card again at that price, or at the even above price what it was going for, you would make a loss with tax. So the goal, what they were doing was that, say for example, this Shaq might have been like 750 KMT. But instead of it being 750, it went to like 1.2, 1.3 million. And that meant more people were looking to buy coins. So they were pushing the prices up of these cards. Like, let's be real, nobody's buying coins to buy the non-hyped players. Like, if you are buying coins in this game, you are buying coins to buy Kobe. You are buying coins to buy... Like, you're not... Like, most people aren't buying coins to buy Dr. J. They're not. Just like most people aren't going to buy packs for Dr. J. It's the same logic. So what the coin sites are doing is they pumped up the prices of players. And that's why when there was a bunch of Kobe's ending at the same time at the very start. Remember a bunch of Kobe sold for like 2 million at the very start when he went? That's the real price Kobe should have gone for. Like, there was like one Kobe every like 2 or 3 minutes. Like, it wasn't like there was many Kobe's. There was still very few of them, but they were still going for 2 million. They want to see what the natural price of it was and then bump up the price. And in fairness, like, it's not illegal what they're doing, but it's incredibly smart what they're doing. But the problem is that it only works when there's a rarity of cards. This doesn't... Last year, we can remember with Rashard Lewis. Every time they put Rashard Lewis into super packs, they did a few things with Rashard Lewis. If they can change the price. So the big problem... There's not only a problem with the odds that you're having to spend, like... Obviously, this one's going to end at like 3 million. Or, sorry, 2 million right here. That you're having to spend like thousands of dollars to get the card, which is its own problem. The problem with the odds being so low as well is that it allows for more and more market manipulation from the people who own 80% of the world's MT. Like, these coin sites have managed to farm about 80% of the world's MT. They own probably more. These companies own more than every one individual combined, and that is what bad pack odds on these specific cards has allowed them to do. So this is just a little bit of a warning that this isn't going to change. Like, Kobe is going to be this price. Unless 2K starts giving out invincible cards like they're nothing. There's a whole bunch of invincible cards in packs. This is going to keep happening. Like, if they do end up, say, releasing invincible... I don't think we see Kareem next week. Imagine we see an invincible like Giannis next week. Again, that's probably not going to happen. That's a stupid person to put in. No, we saw Magic this week. I can't even think. Maybe invincible Bill Russell, and he's equally as rare as these guys were in packs. You better believe invincible Bill Russell, who's still a 6'10 player with a bad jump shot, is still going to be close to that million MT, because again, market manipulation is a thing. So just a bit of a warning, lads. If you're trying to bid on a Kobe Bryant, you're not only bidding against the other players, you're bidding against people artificially pumping up the price. I remember there was a bunch of theories last year that 2K were doing it themselves. I can guarantee you that that's not true. Like, there were so many theories 2K were bumping up the prices of all these cards. But like, look at this one here. 4 hours 35 minutes is a 3 million bid already. 2.3 million all these. You know what? You know why these things have these bids? And like 2 of these are the same bid. So basically what one person did was they went to say 24 hours and they tried to put like they want to say, okay, can I put a 900 bid? And it's like, you have been out, you're not the highest bidder, so pushes up to that. So then you can see right here that the 300 bid, this was not the highest bidder. So someone has a more than with 4 hours 35 minutes to go, someone has a more than 3 million bid on this card. Someone has a set price of more than 3 million and someone has bid up to 3 million with 4 hours to go. And like, considering the fact that you can see it here, they're ending about 4 million. 4 hours ago, there's something fishy there. So yeah, the fact that you're coming up against, if you have 3-4 million and you think, you know what, there's not a lot of people out there in the game that have 3 or 4 million. The fact is, you're not only coming up against other players, there's a huge demand for all these cards. You are also coming against people with 30-40 million. So that is specifically why the people with 30-40 million are using these Kobe Bryants are using these cards to trade. They're using these cards to push up the price. They're using these cards to get everyone to make everyone feel like they don't have enough MT, basically. The goal, what they're doing with the market manipulation, is they want the player to feel like they have not enough MT, so then they go to buy coins. And the reason why I think 2K might be not doing anything about this is that it might also lead people to buying VC. So I'm 100% sure 2K knows about it. There was a whistleblower last year that basically let everyone know what's going on. And look, nothing illegal's going on. So there is, again, buy coins at your own risk. It's against TOS, so there's a very good chance you're going to get, there's a very good chance you're going to get banned if you do it. I know that from experience. And yeah, just a kind of interesting thing in my team. This is the first time it's really been noticeable, because I think all the other hyped cards, like even for LeBron, I'm even going to say with LeBron, there were too many LeBrons for it to be done. Like, there are too many LeBrons for the market manipulation to happen. Like, there are 20 of them ending in an hour. And then by the time there's enough a scarcity of LeBrons on the market, there's a new hyped card that people are more interested in than LeBron. So that's why we haven't seen anything like we saw with Shaq and LeBron last year. Why we haven't seen anything like that up to this year. And I think this is the first time, because there's such a scarcity of cards and these cards are so rare, that we're seeing it in 2K21. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The reason why you're never going to be able to afford any of these cards is twofold. First of all, it's 2K's odds. 2K completely tanking the odds means there's a huge rarity of these cards, and supply and demand is obviously a thing. But in reality, I reckon 2 million MT is what Kobe would be without the manipulation. I reckon Duncan would be about 600k, and I reckon Kevin Garnett will be about 800k. That is my prediction. I reckon we're seeing quite a lot of market manipulation, but that would be my just guesses as to what they would be. I might be wrong, but with market manipulation, you're basically almost doubling the price of all these cards, and it is kind of crazy. So it's twofold. If 2K gave better odds, if there were so many Kobe Bryants, it means that the coin sites couldn't bid on every single Kobe because there's just too many for them to bid on, which means they can't manipulate the market. So as long as 2K keeps giving terrible odds for these invincible cards, trust me, the average person, you, me, 95% of people watching this video will never be able to afford any of them. So yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.